Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Kagato, the final boss, and welcome to episode 3 of Courtroom Drama, the show where a game filled with superheroes, villains, and monsters. I play as two lawyers seeking out to save the world one guilty verdict at a time, and an insane virus-infused man hell-bent on global saturation. I'd like to thank everybody for supporting this project so far. While there may only be 2 episodes and the entire concept began by my failure to check to see if the cords were plugged in or not, I've gotten quite a lot of positive feedback from people. For once, I have mail in my PlayStation Network account that isn't from angry individuals, and I have messages saying that they liked the show. Though, sadly, rage mail is still the main thing I get. But that's what I wanted to talk about today before we get started into the matches. I know Maximilian had already covered internet rage in one of his videos, The Online Warrior. I believe it was episode 8 or something. I don't know. But I'm going to approach this from another angle. People get mad, sometimes at very petty things. The internet only amplifies this because there are no consequences for your actions due to no one seeing you. However, that is not always the case. Have you ever been so mad that you had to release some of that aggression? Well, people do it in various ways. However, more often than not, they have to make sure they involve something or someone during their rage. This is where hate mail comes in. Or in a more extreme cases, breaking things or causing physical harm to yourself or others. I'm not going to talk about those things, or those times, but I'll say this brief thing. If a game is causing you so much anger that it's going to cause something or someone physical or emotional harm, it's time to quit the game, get over it, or see a doctor about your mental stability. Venting anger is one thing, going all Hulk smash is another. Alright, so back to the hate mail. Why do we send them? Why do we receive them? And how does this relate to Phoenix Wright or my other characters? Well, I get many different kinds of hate mail for all my characters. Phoenix Wright especially. Phoenix Wright is always called a spammer. Oh, you're just spamming evidence. All you do is spam that finger attack. You're not good. All you can do is just spam that attack. Yeah, that's the most common thing I get. She-Hulk is probably the least common, although I have gotten hate mail from her. She gets raged on because of me catching people in a continuous reset. I've been able to take out some people's entire teams just with She-Hulk alone, just because I was able to time my resets correctly every time with her command grabs. I just get them in the corner, each character, and I just do the simple loop into the torpedo and then grab them with the medium command grab and start the whole process all over again. And then when the new character comes out, I just gotta do a command grab on them once, and once again, start the whole thing all over again. Including some taking out the trash here and there, and you got some very angry people. Wesker, well, it's pretty obvious why I get hate mail for using Wesker. He's Wesker. No matter what I do, someone finds something to try and justify their loss and act like they are the bigger man, even if they are throwing a tantrum over it like a baby. Same thing goes for the other side of the spectrum. Phoenix Wright isn't exactly a character that gains instant results. You have to work with him to be good with him, and quite frankly, Phoenix Wright players don't really accept that. And Phoenix Wright gets messed up badly by anyone with half-decent cross-up, so fellow Phoenix Wright players have been raging at people who use those characters to take down Phoenix Wright. For example, whenever I see a Phoenix Wright on point as my opponent, I don't send in my own Phoenix Wright, I send in Wesker, because he's got a good cross-up that can help knock him out of his evidence gathering. Because, of course, a smart Phoenix Wright would bring out the Maya Shield and try and use that to protect themselves for a while. Well, a lot of Phoenix Wrights don't do that, or if they do, they don't hide inside of the shield when they're up against somebody with a cross-up like Wesker. So, I just quickly teleport to the other side and start beating on them. And then they get mad. Learn to protect yourself, but more on that later. So, you have to work with him to be good. And really, to both parties, both the people that rage at characters like Phoenix Wright or just plain rage over their losses, and as well as people who rage because they can't do well and such, here's my lesson for today. If you're losing, you're learning. If you're winning, then you're teaching. If you're always losing, you're learning what's making you lose and you learn from it in various ways, whether it be as simple, if not petty, as a thing as changing to better characters. Like, oh, my Genko sucks? Okay, I'm going to use Wesker now. Well, technically that's learning, although, you know, you could try and get better with Genko. That's also an option. So you can just choose better characters, or try and take that knowledge and apply it to the team that you already have, and making some good gameplay changes to adapt. If you're winning, you're teaching whoever is losing to you. They will eventually learn patterns and eventually get better, sometimes to the point of actually winning as well, which causes you to start learning once again because they are being as good, if not beating you. It's a full circle practice that all comes down to one simple thing. You get better by playing. Rage is the sad side effect given by people who expect instant positive results and only seem to care about their own personal fragile egos and the size of their EP. If you're so angry that you have to rage at somebody, you are merely admitting to yourself and your opponent that you are weak-minded and care more about the victory than the love of the game. And that also extends out to rage quitting, trash talk, teabagging, all that stuff. Learn from your matches, or else you will never progress. Also, being a good sport rather than raging might actually, I don't know, gain you more friends who can, you know, help you get better. Just saying. Alright, so enough about that mess. Let's talk about some of these matches here. So, I am now up against a, oh dear god, why team. It's Dr. Doom, Magneto, and Dormammu. Three characters that are really good at camping and also really good at rushdown if you're Dr. Doom in the corner! But this particular Dr. Doom doesn't have me in the corner, but he's still spamming that foot dive like nobody's business, and it's working. So I've got She-Hulk out right now, and she doesn't do too well against Dr. Doom. Although, whenever I have She-Hulk out against Dr. Doom, I try and wait and see if I can bait a good foot dive from a good distance. If so, and if I have a bar, I can catch the foot dive with a taking out the trash. It will work. The priority on foot dive isn't that good against command grab hyper. But other than that, it's pretty rough. So I brought out Wesker, but then he brings in Dormammu, and I'm pretty sure that Wesker beats out Dormammu, but I just want to chain into the TAC into the objection, which I got, and now I'm taking a Chaotic Flame to the face. But here comes back Dr. Doom, and once again we are at Dr. Doom and She-Hulk all over again. So here we go with the infamous damaging loop, and there goes She-Hulk. No! But that's okay, Wesker's still alive. And is that invincible? It didn't hit, although I don't know, it might be invincible. That's something I should probably find out. I'm not a big Dormammu player, I don't know much about him, so I don't know if that assist is invincible or not. If it is, then that explains a lot. If not, then I must have been just really unlucky with the position of Wesker. But now I got Phoenix Wright, X Factor, Turnabout Mode, and now I'm going to see if I can make Dr. Doom pay. And he lets down his guard for even an instant, and that's the end of him. So let's... Well, Dormammu didn't last long. Okay, and finally, got Magneto, spamming for more projectiles, and I completely screwed up. I called in Wesker to get a low hit to chain into that aerial, but didn't work out so well. He pushed me back, and I didn't get close enough. However, I managed to die right after Maya came out, so I did a little bit of damage. So now we are both down to very little health. Wesker against Magneto. And right there, he probably could have caught me with a sliding kick, but he didn't. Wait, is this that guy that was... Hold on, let me bring this up the big screen. Oh man, I lost it. I think it was that guy that was talking trash in the lobby, saying that nobody could beat him. Man, I'm going to have to check that out again. Alright, Frank West. Oh man, such a simple character to approach with, and yet for some reason I have such a hard time fighting this guy. But I managed to catch him on his recovery almost every single time here, so I'm able to get all the pieces of evidence and take down Frank West before he's able to do any kind of damage. See, I caught him once again, just simple combos while I'm gathering evidence, and now he's dead, and now I'm in trial mode, and I have just about all my health left. Well, that didn't take long. Already in a turnabout mode. I missed another finger. I hate when I'm just barely out of reach. I found that those documents aren't really good for anything except for just setting them up right next to the wall, and that just covers you for when somebody's trying to jump in. I'm sure there's better things I could do, but it's the only thing I could think of with that piece of document. So now I'm out of tournament mode by bringing Maya just in time. No bionic arm for you, and I'd take out his entire team with Phoenix Wright alone. And apparently he didn't like that. Remember what I said about rage quitting? Yep. He didn't send any hate mail, but he did rage quit. Some people consider that to be an accomplishment, making somebody rage quit. I'd rather just keep on playing somebody and have them say, hey, good game, you got me, but I'll try and do better next time. I'll be like, okay, great, let's do it. Let's go in there. Let's kick each other's asses. Well, this Iron Fist isn't having a good day. I keep on throwing him every time he gets close, and now I'm already into turnabout mode. Those documents really good at keeping the space held down by me. And there goes Shumagoroth. I feel so bad for Shumagoroth. He needs more people playing him. Same with Thor. I made a topic about this on GameFAQs. I love Thor. I never thought I'd like Thor as much as I do. And not just in the game. I guess it was the movie that did it for me. I'm not a big comic book fan. I'm not. But I figured when it came to the Avengers, I looked at it all and I'm like, Thor looks silly. He talks silly and he wears a silly helmet. But, I don't know, I've grown to like Thor. I've grown to respect him a lot more. And in this game, even more so. Nobody uses Thor. To all of you people that use Thor watching this video, I give you my salute. You're awesome. Keep on using Thor. I don't care if you kick my ass. You're using Thor to do it. Alright, so this guy's team is just about down. Oh, there goes Iron Fist. And all that's left is a very annoying Taskmaster. And he was guarding for too long, so I decided to bring in Wesker for that low shot. It connects, and I'm able to finish up with a couple of fingers. I still have 5 bars of meter left. I probably should have ended with Ace Attorney, but he probably would have rage quitted like he just did now in the middle of the animation, so it wouldn't have mattered. Alright, so next up, I am now against Spider-Man, who is seeing a lot more people playing as him. Thankfully, I got out that jumping heavy out, so I was able to cancel out Maximum Spider. So, let's see. Nope, he goes the other way, and since it's online, I have not as much time to react, so I wasn't able to go for the command grab. But that's okay. Spider-Man isn't so dangerous as far as damage, although catching the bastard is another story. Man, I forgot who it was, and if I even recorded it or not, but there was one Spider-Man player who I just could not catch for the life of me. Time eventually ran out. At least I think time ran out. It was a while ago. But he was just zipping around like crazy. I couldn't catch him. Although if I had Phoenix Wright's cell phone, it would have been a lot better. But Phoenix Wright was dead at the time. I only had She-Hulk and Wesker left. Hit confirming into trigger happy. Deadpool. I like Deadpool. I just can't use him, but I like Deadpool. But for some reason, everybody uses him the exact same way. Like, I've not really seen any unique Deadpools. I mean, okay, granted, this guy is being a little bit interesting. He's actually trying to use the teleports and other moves other than his quick work and shooting his guns and throwing that grenade out. He's trying to do something else. But, oh well. I DHC'd into Phoenix Wright, so now I can get some spacing down with the projectiles, although I forget to block. The block button, what's that? But I managed to land a lucky objection, and now he's going to pay for that. I get a little nervous there. My timing is completely off, because Phoenix Wright's very low on health, and I wanted to make sure that Deadpool was down, because I did not want to see him come back. Unfortunately, now I have Zero to deal with, sporting that really kick-ass X costume. Speaking of which, why the hell does he have no new lines? Deadpool has new lines. Why can't he? Oh well. So I try and go for taking out the trash, but turns into that because he was too far on the other side, so it, instead of a Shoryuken motion, it said, you know what, I think what you're trying to do is a quarter circle motion, so let's turn that into the car. And that really worked out, didn't it? No. So X Factor 3-0 is not fun at all. Of course, this guy's being a little bit too basic with him, so I'm able to time him out just a little bit long enough to get rid of that X Factor. But 2 characters are down. All that's left is Phoenix Wright. I still have my X Factor, and all I have to do is hit him once until he's dead. Well, not once and he's dead, but once in order to do that. So now he's down. Phoenix Wright, all it takes is 1 finger. Okay, Nemesis, one of my favorite opponents because of how big and slow he is, although he's still pretty tricky. I brought this up before, but I managed to catch him, and I got 3 pieces of evidence real fast, and I'm able to combo into objection with that simple light bulb. So already I'm on the offensive. And I completely missed with Wesker's gunshot, but that's okay. He lowers his guard for even an instant, and that's it. So now, She-Hulk mirrors. I don't know. Maybe I should probably go back to using the leotard instead of the business suit. However, at least the business suit makes She-Hulk look like a lawyer. It kind of fits the theme of my team, kind of, sort of. Even though random Wesker, but, you know. Oh well, I'll think about it. I might change, I might not. But She-Hulk fights are interesting. It's just about who can ram that grab first. Or that slide, I should say, too. I mean, look at this. We're doing the exact same thing to each other. So, I eventually say, screw it, I'm going to bring in somebody else. Yeah, screw it. Here comes Wesker. He's going to take care of it. Done. And Taskmaster. I love that new costume. All these new costumes are looking so good. Although, I think my favorite is probably, well, besides Zero looking like X, I think my favorite brand new costume, as far as what just recently came out, is Trish's Gloria costume. Because the biggest problem I have with Trish, I'm not a Devil May Cry fan. Well, that is to say I've never played a Devil May Cry game, so I don't know much about it. But Trish just looked trashy. She just looked like, as I said in the GameFAQs message boards, she looked like she smells of body odor and urine. Just not pleasant. But the Gloria costume looks so much better on her. So if I ever decide to pick up Trish, I'm only using that costume. Bye, Taskmaster. You've been found guilty of looking like the Punisher in your face. Alright, what do we have next? I think this is the video where I completely have... Yep, this is the one where I completely happy birthday the entire team. Well, not exactly, but you'll see. This is... I included this video because it's a good example of what can be done to... if you're a Phoenix Wright player, what can be done to the opposing team if they are careless with their assists. This guy's being a little bit smart with his guards, but I managed to catch Nemesis and Ryu now. So now Nemesis has gotten a lot of damage. I'm still juggling Ryu, even though he's dead. I didn't think you could do that, but I got really confused there. Alright, here comes the good happy birthday. Nemesis and Wesker are about to die. But I completely missed that last finger. I try and go for an Ace Attorney thinking he'd try to attack. He didn't. And now I'm completely out of turnabout mode. So let's see. Just a quick aerial into another attack and done. Phoenix Wright really punishes those happy birthdays. So if you're up against a Phoenix Wright and he's in turnabout mode, don't carelessly throw out your assists. He can juggle them forever against the wall. Oh, here comes the grown-ass man. Haggar! I said this before, but I will say it again. Why are you so huge? So he's doing some basic stuff with Haggar, but he's got those missiles from Doom alongside of him, so it's a great help for him. I carelessly jump up after that attack and get hit by those missiles, and now I'm paying for it. However, I managed to survive. Here comes She-Hulk, and hopefully she can do some more damage here. Okay, well that pretty much shows that it's not completely invincible on the way up, because Haggar's hands just said, you know what? No. Fuck your grab. He keeps on spamming that move, however, but he's going to pay for it here soon. He's just about done. He still hasn't called anybody out. There we go. Bye, Haggar. Alright, Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom is one character I'm actually not seeing a whole lot of these days. Or at least good ones. I've seen a lot of really, really bad Doctor Dooms, but very, very, very little do I see a good Doctor Doom. But on the other side, this is probably the first good Doctor Strange I've seen. At least as far as intelligence goes. He immediately made sure that my Wesker was down. He's actually using his attacks. He's using his daggers. He's using his, whatever that ball's attack is. I mean, look at that. He's even setting up those, little He's tried everything here. This is one of the best Doctor Stranges I fought against, and that's pretty sad because I fought a lot against Doctor Strange, and everybody that uses him is not very good with him at all. But there he goes after one taking out the trash. And now I gotta deal with Doctor Doom. Unfortunately, I got beat down by that Doctor Strange really well, so all I have left is an evidence-less Phoenix Wright against Doctor Doom. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't have X Factor. So I'm basically trying to do raw damage here, and he completely messes up, and now he's about to pay for it. Maya saves the day. Wait, is that other guy that was... Yep, that was that other guy that was talking crap. Yeah, in case I didn't say before, quick disclaimer. If you see me teabagging like that, it's because the person deserved it for being an asshole in the lobby. I don't condone that stuff. Alright, so already I got 3 pieces of evidence against Wolverine, and this is an extremely reckless, abandoned Wolverine. He's just out there throwing things, so I'm throwing an objection hoping to catch him. I'm not, so I decided, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to sit back and throw an objection, or a piece of evidence. But here comes Dante, really close to me. I figured, you know what, he's in the objection range. Gotcha. People seem to forget that I can actually land objection on assists as well. And somebody told me that I can land an objection on zombies. Frank West zombies. I haven't had any chance to confirm that. It would be really amazing if it was true. You know what? I'll see if I can try and do that. I'll find a Frank West to fight against and see if I throw a zombie. Although, a lot of Frank West these days don't throw zombies. Like, yeah, I'm just going to slide into you, do a normal attack string, and get a picture in, and just do it all over again. Come on, people. A lot of these characters have tools that you're not using that are good. Although I guess I shouldn't say it because Phoenix Wright has tools that I'm not using, such as his paperwork and his press the witness. Not as an assist, mind you. And Wesker has counters that I never try and do, although his counters aren't that good. So I completely screwed up that wall combo. When I called out Phoenix Wright, I meant to do a torpedo and knock him into Phoenix Wright's break the witness, but that didn't work. And I tried to relaunch Virgil when he came in. That didn't work. This guy's just throwing everything he can out at me, and I managed to teleport right before I touched the jam session. And I missed the relaunch. For some reason, every time I try and do recordings, I do some of the dumbest things. It's like, alright, I'm perfectly set up for this great combo that I'm going to get people to see. And I completely screw it up. Oh well, that's online for you. So I've got... I really should have been able to use Ace Attorney right after I did the throw, because it caused a hard knockdown. He's basically landing there helpless, and this is an off-the-ground attack. But I didn't, but that's okay. A couple of fingers made everything work. Okay, so I only have 3 more matches here, and as always, I saved the best one for last. A little reward for those of you that stuck with me all this time. But here's a guy that's also using Phoenix Wright, and as always, if I see another Phoenix Wright, I'm not using my own because that just puts me at risk of him getting pieces of evidence more quickly or as quickly as me. And all he needs to do is land a lucky objection or hit me once into a team attack combo. Or team aerial combo. Why do I even say team attack? Ah! Team aerial! Team aerial! Oh well, so he gets rid of his Phoenix Wright as quickly as possible. And now he's got his own Wesker, and he keeps trying to do a simple combo and keeps failing, but now he's going to get it. So he knows pretty much what he's doing with Wesker. Completely failed that combo extender, though, and I bring out Phoenix Wright, and for some reason, even though I hit him with paper, I messed up the rest of the combo, and now I'm going to pay for it. Don't drop your combos, people. A simple hit into the remainder of the combo should not be so hard to do, even though I just performed myself doing it. Dropping combos. It's awesome. But Wesker's finally down. I was able to deal just enough damage and end with that judge. So now it's a Phoenix Wright battle, what I was dreading before. However, without a Wesker, all he has is Phoenix Wright and Iron Fist. And both of them have a very hard time approaching a Phoenix Wright with this kind of evidence. Especially that knife. I mean, look at this. The only thing he can really do to approach is super jump, which he'll do eventually. But at that point, I'll be ready for it. See, here it comes. Objection. And there goes Iron Fist. So all that's left is a Phoenix Wright with, well, he's got X Factor, but I still got turnabout mode. So I'm just going to time him out here. I'm just going to keep on camping. The knife's perfect enough, and eventually he goes down. When it comes to two Phoenix Wrights playing each other, it's basically who throws the evidence first. After that, it's over. All I got to do is just lock down the other Phoenix Wright. However, if one of them has the cell phone, or more especially the photo, it could go either way, because that photo pierces through everything, and that cell phone is just tricky. But as far as the rest of the evidence, it's just who throws the first one. Alright, now, the Phoenix Wright highlights are pretty much over. Now, I've got 2 more matches left, and this is where She-Hulk's really going to come in. And you'll see in a moment. So, I'm up against this Taskmaster, this Virgil, and Wesker. Another popular group of folks. Fortunately, this Virgil really doesn't know how to relaunch after that 4th hit, but still, he's managing to deal a whole lot of damage because of those blades surrounding him. So Wesker's just about dead. I had to bring in She-Hulk, and now I'm able to deal the damage that I want to. I tried to go for another reset, but it failed because he brings in Taskmaster. I'm actually not seeing too much of Taskmaster anymore. Like, in general. I don't care if it's good ones or bad ones. I'm just not seeing too much of Taskmaster. I guess that's a good thing, because he annoys the hell out of me. I love his theme. I like his character. But the way he plays, it annoys me. And I even picked him up for the very first time last night when I was playing against some friends and just randoms only. I realized just how easy he really was to use. At least as far as doing the general stuff with it. I thought it was more complicated, but I was wrong. Alright, right there, when I'm in the situation where I have 3 bars or more, and I get the opponent in the corner, I like to wait. Now that I've realized I can do this, I like to wait and see what happens. If they roll backwards against the wall, I can immediately start up the car when they're out of their rolling animation, and then that's the end. But if they go the other way, then I can follow up with the slide and hopefully get them when they're vulnerable. Okay, so now is the last fight of the night. And I said that She-Hulk gets some highlight here, but that's at the very end. Right now, everybody gets it. And as you saw, my Phoenix Wright was able to take down a majority of Wesker's health. I got really lucky there. Wesker got careless and started attacking me through the shield, and I punished him for that, and I managed to do as much damage as I could. But when it comes to Virgil, it's another story because Virgil's range is stupid long. So bring in She-Hulk and hope for the best, which isn't that good. I'm getting beat down pretty harshly here. Following up into that damn huge pillar. Zero, I'm so glad you're a glass cannon. If you had any more health, I'd be very sad right now. So I bring in Wesker to deal with Zero, which is really not a good idea because, well, it's a bad matchup, I believe, for Wesker, but still, between the 3 of my characters, I'd rather try and use Wesker against Zero than the other 2, at least as far as fighting him when they have assists still. So this is something I've never seen before. He was able to chain 2 of those dimension slashes, or whatever that move is called, in a row against Wesker without using X Factor. So that was really surprising and very, very damaging. And I was both in shock and in pain. Phoenix Wright had plenty of health left over compared to everybody else, so I figured while they get some red health, I'll bring him out. But it turns out that at this point, things start going my way. I'm able to hold off Zero for a little bit, so I figured, you know what? I got one more piece of evidence. I get it. I change, and he's being a little bit too aggressive, so I throw out an objection for some reason. I didn't mean to do that, but I throw out a cell phone and hits him, and I hit confirm into the objection, get some space, and that is the end of Zero. Phoenix Wright is very low on health. Wesker's okay, so I very carelessly attack Virgil, who's crouching, with my standing jabs. Why? I don't know! I thought it was a good idea at the time. But there goes Wesker, so Phoenix Wright, who's not fully regenerated his red health, comes back in, but he immediately gets grabbed by Wesker and into a combo that is going to kill him. Oh goody. So now, She-Hulk is in a bad spot. She's by herself against Wesker and Virgil, and he still has his X-Factor. I already activated mine. Now he activated his, but he tries to combo into another Dimension Slash, but he realizes he has no more bars left. So I managed to punish him and kill him, and here comes Wesker, but I threw a car at him, and it was just enough. That's it. Well, thank you guys very much for watching this episode of Courtroom Drama. I will see you next time.
Wow.